Greetings, YouTube! Today I'm going to be showing off the Eton FRX1. I don't know if you can read that because it's in red print. Yeah, you just barely read it. This was the LL Bean brand version. They may have made a number of different versions of this for different companies. The Red Cross, things like that. They come in different colors. I've seen it in yellow, white, black. I think I've seen it in red, maybe blue. And I've seen them online for as little as $12, but of course you're going to have to charge, I have to pay shipping as well. I paid $5 for this at a flea market. Okay, so what do you get for your money? Well, this is the panel to the batteries themselves, which is nice. So you can access the batteries themselves, which are, rechargeable. Here we have a speaker, on-off switch, which is also volume, tuner here. And this is the selection switch for the different options you have available to you. You have a button on here which is turns the light on and off. A antenna which retracts here. And the most important bit of this, you have the crank. This item is self-powered. And it's really quite comfortable. In fact, you can even do it flat. And it isn't horribly uncomfortable. You get a nice bit of resistance. It has a nice bit of haptic feedback. It's not too difficult. But of course, it's a little easier when you're out here. Just kind of... You definitely get some resistance, but it's not too bad. And it will work in either direction. I'm just happen to be right-handed, and that's the most comfortable direction to go in. I don't have a manual for this, so I have no idea what the crank time to storage battery ratio is, but I think that usually it's like for a minute of cranking you get about 3 to 4 minutes of play time. Now, yeah, I forgot there's a panel down here. I'll move that out of the way. And there is your headphone jack, and that's a micro USB. I can only assume that that means you could actually charge this from device, either your computer or a laptop. Now, in an emergency circumstance, your PC is going to be offline because you have no power. But your laptop could very well have power. And if your laptop has power, you could very well use your laptop to charge your emergency radio and or light. And speaking of the light, as I said, the button's up here. It is 3 LEDs. It's quite sufficient to illuminate the area directly in front of you and to search for items. It can be candled if you want to bounce it off the ceiling. And one of the things I really like about this bezel here is glow in the dark. So if you have this sitting in your room and under normal lighting circumstances, then you lose the power, you're going to be able to find it. You turn it on for a few minutes to look for something, you put it down, that's going to continue glowing, so you're going to be able to find it. That is a really nice feature. I also like the fact that it's a bright yellow, which makes it higher visibility, because rarely are you in utter complete blackness, even in a power outage, unless you live really far outside of a city and a rural environment. And in those cases, you may very well be in utter blackness. Of course, in my home, I have a bookshelf covered in LED flashlights, and LED flashlights stored in probably every room of the house. I don't think I have a single room in my house that doesn't have an LED flashlight in it. But that's just me. So, it does actually pick up radio stations. So let's go pop this antenna open up. There we go. There we go. And I'm using the weather band because there's no copyright on that and I can't get in trouble. So that's the weather band channel, which I think is a really nice feature because it means that in a natural emergency, which is probably weather derived, unless you live in an area where you're going to have earthquakes, that's going to be a channel you're really going to want to be able to listen to. So having a dedicated version. It also goes FM, AM, and some shortwave channels. Though the shortwave channels are not the best on this particular device. I'll freely admit it. But the other three are very good. And again, I have a $5 investment in this. Not that I don't have others. I've done a review here on a Grundig emergency radio I have, which is far better quality, but also far more expensive. So if you're looking for a small, because this isn't particularly large, it's too big to carry in a backpack, but it's small enough you could put this easily into a bug-out bag. Rob would put it in plastic because it's not weatherproof. You can stick this into your car, into a camper, It's a great thing for you keep it in your near your bedside, or you keep this in your house in case of an emergency, and you know that when you have that emergency, there you go, and you're going to have light and a radio. Even if you have ignored this device for years, you can charge it up and you can go. And that's very important in an emergency. Knowing that you have a device that can let you get information from the outside and give you a source of light is a very comforting feeling. Now, I have lots of those. I collect them. And I have quite a few ones that are self-powered, so I'm covered. But many people don't. So having a battery-powered flashlight for daily use, which is, dirt common, is good. I would definitely make it an LED flashlight. But having one emergency one like this that allows you to have these very simple but very usable features, to my mind, is very important. And again, you go online, you're going to be able to find this for $12. You might, I get lucky, I found it for $5 at a flea market, but not everyone's going to be that lucky. So there you have it, folks. A very useful, simple, but very flexible emergency radio and flashlight.